Hello everyone, back into today's second video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's second video. So day 10 is going to take us to around the 24th of January, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles. I shall get on that for you very shortly. Just say that the European Outlook has been released. That's your detailed look at the weather for the next week, 10 days across Northern Europe. So check that out if you would like to do that. And Ensemble's Watch is going to be released tonight. So I know so many of you enjoy Ensemble's Watch. We'll go through all members of the GFS ensembles and we'll see what they're all showing going out to the latter stages of January. And I'll get on with that for you. Tonight I'll record it around 6:30 and you'll be able to watch it around 8 o'clock. I would have thought 7:30 to 8, something like that. Right, so I'll do the 10 to 14 day in a moment, just to say thank you so much to our latest channel member. So thank you so much to Connor Harper for becoming a channel member for Gavs Weatherviz. It's incredible, it's amazing. Thank you so much, Connor, for becoming a Gavs Weatherviz channel member. I've got more channel members to shout out as well in the coming days. We're over 60 channel members now. It's incredible. It's absolutely amazing. So thank you so much. Thank you so much to all channel members, and also thank you so much to Connor Harper as well for becoming a Gavs Weatherviz channel member. If you'd like to become a channel member for Gavs Weatherviz, all you need to do is come to the Gavs Weatherviz YouTube homepage, click the join button. It'll take you through to another page where you can see what benefits you get for becoming a channel member, and you can sign up on that page as well. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Subs are still moving very quickly, so we're currently standing at around 9,785. I think got to put on something like another 225 subscribers to get ourselves to 10k. So we really are getting close to 10k now. I wonder whether we could hit 10k subscribers this weekend. Be nice if we could. We're giving away an Amazon voucher worth £50. We started that. So I wrote that on last night's live stream. So if you're on Discord, then all you need to do is like the post on Discord in the giveaway channel that Sav has created. Just like it or sort of add an emoji of some sort. That will enter you into the prize draw. And also, you can email me at gavsweatherviz@gmail.com, and I will pick that up directly, and that will get you into the draw as well. If we hit 10k by Sunday's live stream, we will give away this £50 Amazon voucher. It just depends whether we can do it or not. I don't know if we'll be able to quite get there by Sunday's live stream, but it'll be interesting to see. Got to put on around over 225 subscribers. So if you know anybody at all whatsoever that will be interested in the videos from Gavs Weatherviz, then please tell them about us. Get them to subscribe. Tell them to tell their friends and family to subscribe. And yeah, on Sunday's live stream, as long as we have hit 10k, somebody is going to win a £50 Amazon voucher. So, somebody's going to win that on Sunday if we hit 10k. We've got to hit 10k first. So please tell everybody, subscribe, tell everybody, tell your doctor, tell your neighbour, tell your vicar, tell everybody you possibly can to subscribe to Gavs Weatherviz to get us to 10,000 subscribers, and then we'll be giving away a £50 Amazon voucher. That is just for UK residents, by the way, so you do have to be resident in the UK, including Northern Ireland and Channel Islands, to be able to win that Amazon voucher. Right, thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Okay, let's get on with the video, mate. So we're going to start off with the current situation today, because it is snowing across some parts of the country. We've been talking about this in videos over the past few days. We've got a band of rain and snow sitting across northern and eastern areas. So if we add in the precipitation type, you can see where the snow is, snowing heavily through central southern parts of Scotland, coming down into northern England, through into Lincolnshire, turning to sleet and snow through there, begin to turn snow to East Anglia as well. Now, if I add on the dew point, where the dew point is freezing, that's where it will be snowing. So much of northern England, yes, the dew point is around freezing, it's at freezing. So the dew point is supportive of snow. It's relatively mild out in the west, so look at these dew points out in west. North sort of north mid Wales, 7 degrees with a dew point. Southwestern England around 7 or 8 degrees. It's relatively mild today out in the west. But in the north and in the east, it is much colder. Look at these temperatures, big temperature contrast today. Just freezing, freezing where this snow is falling, but down in the southwest we're up to around 8, 9, 10 degrees. So quite remarkable contrasting temperatures from the northeast to the southwest today. That snow is going to carry on running southwards with rain mixed in as well, and it will clear away through the course of the latter part of the afternoon and into the evening. But yes, more snow is falling across parts of the country. Today we've had none here again at GWV Towers. We continue to be snow free as we have been pretty much all winter, except for one or two snowflakes between Christmas and New Year. But generally being snow free here in GWV Towers. We continue to be, so I'm not expecting any snow here either, because most of this rain and snow is now to our east. I don't think it'll come back west. So yeah, no snow here, but northern and eastern parts of the country getting snow today. And if you get it and you want it, then enjoy it. Have got weather warnings in force for today. So this is the latest from UK Met Office in terms of the yellow warning for snow and ice. Let's click on that. You can see that it covers pretty much north of Scotland all the way down into the Midlands. You would look at that and think it's on GWV Towers, wouldn't you? But it's generally gone to our east. They're saying that heavy snow may affect parts of the warning area with possible significant travel disruption. And yeah, so we know it is snowing heavily across northern and eastern parts of England. I think it's generally a little bit further east than this yellow warning area. But there is snow around today. I haven't got any warnings for tomorrow. It's going to be quiet today, tomorrow. And then the yellow warning comes back on Saturday. This time again through Scotland, northern and eastern England, but not quite as far south into the Midlands with this one. If we click on the warning for Saturday, again, they say a band of heavy snow may lead to travel disruption. Not a great deal of information about this one, but yeah, more snow possible on Saturday. So it continues to be quite a seasonable January, to say the least. This how things are currently looking in the stratosphere at 10 HPA over the North Pole. So we have the southern stratospheric warming that occurred at the beginning of January. Then the temperature dropped down. The temperature has actually lifted up a little bit now to around -50. We're still above average. The grey line is the average temperature at 10 HPA in the stratosphere over North Pole. So we're still above average, albeit not at such a high level as we was at the beginning of January. 30 HPA closer to the troposphere. That's how we look. So again, ticking up the temperature a little bit at 30 HPA as well. If we have a look at the GFS forecast for stratospheric temperatures at 10 HPA over the next couple of weeks, we see this. So the blue colours are where we've got cold temperatures at 10 HPA. They have been pushed out and displaced and stretched almost to breaking point. We did have a reversal of zonal winds actually when we had a split up of polar vortex at its roots in the stratosphere at the beginning of January. So we've got these green and yellow colours. That's continue warming around the edges of the Arctic. Let's run through, see what happens. So we just keep the warming going and probably intensify it more over Siberia as we go into next week. These green and yellow colours sort of gathering in size, scope and intensity. And then as we run through into the extended range with the GFS 6 there, this is what happens. So again, we keep those warm temperatures, 10 HPA stratosphere over Siberia. They're having a go at another southern stratospheric warming by the 27th of January, having a really good go at another SSW, trying to move it into the Arctic. That's how it looks as we get to the end of the GFS run to 30th of January. Again, very significant warming of the stratosphere taking place over Siberia, or continuing really over Siberia at 10 HPA. But still not quite getting rid of these blue colours, still not enough to completely destroy the polar vortex at its roots, but it should at the very least keep the polar vortex in its box in the stratosphere. So it's been interesting all winter in terms of what's going on stratosphere-wise, so different to last winter where we had the polar vortex of doom, and still it goes on, still the interest is there in terms of what's happening in the stratosphere right now. Right, so CET is looking interesting as well. This is provisional up to the 13th of January. So CET is currently standing at 2.1. That's an anomaly of 1.5 or nearly 1.5 degrees below average. That is provisional up to the 13th of January. That will probably tick down once today and tonight's frost and ice and tomorrow's cold temperatures are taken into account. So it'll probably be under 2 degrees when we look at this again on Saturday. So a cold first half to January. I think the coldest first half to January since 2010 across most parts of the country. And I think like the third coldest first half to January probably since 1979. So it has been a significantly cold first half to January. Although many parts of lowland southern England have not had snow. I know so many of you are incredibly disappointed about the lack of snow given the synoptics and the fact that we have had like the third or fourth coldest first half of January since 1979. I know so many of you are disappointed about the lack of snow with this, but the cold has been, has been quite intense, really. Particularly the northern half of the country has had a lot of snow, to be honest, as well. So it's been a real north-south split in terms of snow, with northern areas having really appreciable amounts of snow, but down in the south it has been disappointing from a snow perspective. And I suppose that's probably because a lot of this has been northerly based. We've had northerly winds really since Christmas Eve, and southern areas are sheltered from those northerly winds, just tend not to get as much snow. For the south, you really want, for like appreciable snow, a lot of the time anyway, you want the wind in from the east. There can be exceptions to that, but southern areas will tend to do better for snow from easterly winds. We haven't had all that many easterly winds, and when we have had easterly winds, we haven't had a particularly cold continent. But yeah, it's been a cold, there's no getting away from it. It's been a cold first half to January, and certainly the coldest first half of January for 11 years. So it's notable, it's noteworthy, and there we go. It's continued to be cold for the time being as well. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. We're looking at London today. So the red line is a 30-year upper air temperature average for London. We're going to be up and down, but generally on the cold side over the next week to 10 days, really. So we're going to be going colder in the next few hours. Then over weekend, temperature will lift up a little bit as we bring an area of low pressure in. That brings risk of rain and snow. Becomes quite cold again for the early part of next week. Another system pushes in around Tuesday, lifts the temperature up, and then after that we go quite cold through the second half of next week. Now into the last week of January, we are seeing a shift within the GFS ensembles, and so many of these ensembles now are turning milder into the last week of January. We have the green line just there, which is the operational run, and I'll show you in a moment, which becomes very mild. It actually lifts the temperature up to 10 Celsius at 850 HPA, but you can see that is an outlier. Is one of, or certainly at the very extreme end. I suppose you can really say it's an outlier because there are one or two more doing something similar. But it is certainly at the extreme end of the GFS ensembles in terms of mildness during the last week of January. But we have got a bit of a warming trend here through the last week of January, so we may be seeing signs of things going milder into the last week of January. It's a very long way out, but we could be seeing a milder trend for the final week of the month. Precipitation-wise, regular rainfall to come from beginning to end, and when it's cold enough, there will be some snow mixed in with that as well. Temperature anomalies from the 14th to 22nd of January are colder than average through most parts of Europe, the UK and Ireland included in that, although we're only a little bit below average. The coldest weather is shifting over onto the eastern and southeastern side of Europe. Precipitation anomalies from the 14th to 22nd of January above average, particularly so for more southern and eastern parts of the country. That's our latest wind flow map is looking from earthnullschool.net. We're still bringing cold winds today, either from the east or from the northwest. So it remains cold across most parts of the country. That's how UK Met is looking for Sunday. So on Sunday, we've got a showery northwesterly wind setting in. Monday, we turn wind to the west-southwest, a little bit milder through the early part of next week. And then in comes this next area of low pressure on Tuesday, probably bringing in a lot of rain. And as that pushes through, yes, we turn wind back into the north by Wednesday. So turning colder again through the middle part of next week with another push of cold northerly winds. That's as far as we get to with the UK Met. This is how the GFS 6Z is looking. So again, a showery northwesterly for Sunday, back in westerly for Monday. In comes low pressure through Tuesday, brings a lot of rain with it as the low clears Wednesday into Thursday. Turn wind into the north, so it turns colder again through the middle part of next week. Snow returns to the northern half of the country. This is not the very, very cold northerly outbreak that was being suggested by Mars a few days ago. And the reason for that is that the blocking around Greenland, it is there to some degree. There is a bit of blocking around Greenland, but it is nowhere near the same extent that it was like in model runs that we had over weekend, for example, when these models were really ramping up the Greenland block. They have backed off that big time, backed off that massive Greenland Arctic blocking that they was going for a few days ago. Nevertheless, there is still a bit of blocking around Greenland, and it's enough to get wind back into the north with a GFS 6Z, so going colder with snow returning, particularly to northern and eastern parts of the country. Running up towards day 10, low pressure comes back in off the Atlantic. That brings more rain, might be some snow involved with that as it's running into quite cold air. But then into the last week of January, look at this, we get a push of very mild air. I haven't seen this for a long while. I haven't seen it all winter, actually. Get a push of very mild air from the southwest. That will probably lift temperatures into the low teens, I would have thought. You could get temperature up to around 13, maybe 14 degrees with that, given the air is originating from the Canary Islands. It doesn't last all that long. We soon flatten it off, and by the end of the GFS run, we're actually going back into colder weather again as a jet stream and these areas of low pressure begin to dig southwards. Notice it remains very cold across much of northern Europe. There's the upper air temperatures showing that most of northern Europe is still well and truly in the freezer there at the end of this GFS 6Z run. But we may get some milder days through the last week of January. But having said that, we know that this idea of that long fetch southwesterly from the Azores and the Canary Islands, we know that is actually an outlier within the GFS ensembles, really. So we'll wait and see what happens in the last week of January. This is how the GM is looking. So again, showery on Sunday and then into the early part of next week. Very unsettled, low pressure pushing through the country, bringing lots of heavy rain. On the northern side of that, there could be some snow. By the middle of next week, we've got wind back into the north again. And so it becomes colder with northerly winds and a chance of snow for northern eastern areas. And then we head up towards day 10 and back comes the low pressure from off the Atlantic, finishing up looking pretty flat and westerly with the GM. They have definitely backed off blocking. These miles have backed off Greenland blocking a lot over particularly today's runs, but this actually started a day or two ago with the GFS, and now all of them are sort of running away from the idea of extreme northern blocking. Right, the ECM looks like that. So, again, we've got unsettled weather coming up next week. And never really gets the wind into the north with the ECM either. Just keeps the low pressure sat over Scotland. So out of the three, this has even less of a northerly for the middle of next week. In fact, no northerly, really, for the middle of next week until, we get towards day 10. And then just get a very brief day of northerly winds on the 23rd of January before that clears away and we've got the next lows coming in off the Atlantic. So yeah, a very, very significant backing off of Greenland blocking has taken place within the model output today. And as I said, started with the GFS a couple of days ago, it's gradually been gathering steam, and they have backed off this idea of a big Greenland block a lot. Now, that's not to say that we won't get a big Greenland block, and we won't get a significant, potentially quite severe cold outbreak, as was being suggested a couple of days ago. But today's model output, and I suspect, you know, a lot of you are going to be very disappointed about this. I know a lot of you watching want it to go as cold as it can do and bring snow to lowland and southern England. At the moment, the models have backed off that idea a lot. We may see the models picking it back up again over the coming days. So obviously we'll keep you posted. But today's model output has backed away from the idea of significant and major Greenland blocking and that very cold outbreak. This is how the precipitation type forecast is looking with the ECM run. So this is today's snow running down the eastern side of the country. Is going to clear away through the evening. It will turn frosty and icy tonight, by the way. So if you're out and about tomorrow morning, do take care. Roads, pavements, where they're untreated, will be potentially very icy. Quite a day for Friday, and then into Saturday, bring the next system through. There'll be rain and snow involved with that. Suggests more snow possible for East Anglia. For example, on Saturday, that one gets out of the way. Probably another frosty, icy night on Saturday night. And then into next week, then we start to bring in wind off the Atlantic. So, although not mild, less cold, and we don't have much snow either on the ECM next week either. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10. Gets to 24th of January. 21 members of the ECM ensembles have a mid-Atlantic ridge extending back to Greenland blocking. Low pressure is over top of the country, and we're bringing in cold northerly winds with that. So that could potentially be cold and wintry. 16, including the control and the operational run, have low pressure through the country, but backing into the Atlantic. So despite northern blocking here, we're actually relatively mild but unsettled with those. 14, with low pressure to our east, high pressure away to the northwest, probably bringing in the wind from the north. So I suppose if you put the 21 there together with the 14 here, you probably still have a majority in favour of cold weather at day 10, actually, within the ECM ensemble. So the operational run, which was quite westerly between days sort of 7 to 10, the operational run probably not all that well supported actually by its ensemble. So there is potential for things to be a little bit colder than the ECM operational run was suggesting. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. This is going to get us to the 22nd of January, 29th of January, I should say. 22 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure more towards the Canadian side of Greenland. Low pressure through the country. That could still be rather cold, but sort of west-northwesterly flow with that. 11 with high pressure towards Greenland. Low pressure is over top of the country. Still cold and potentially quite wintry there. Another 11 with low pressure more to our west-northwest, bringing a milder west-southwesterly, unsettled. And then 7 with low pressure, with high pressure, I should say, just to our west, and we'd be bringing the wind in from the north-northwest with that. That's the driest option, and probably quite cold with that option. Lastly, CFSV2, these are 500 millibar heights broken down to week periods. The first week period will take us from the 14th to the 20th of January. The coming week, we'll have blocking to the north. Low pressure will be across Eastern Europe, and winds will be generally from the north-northeast. So quite a cold and unsettled week to come. Week 2 is going to be the 21st, 27th of January. Low pressure in the Atlantic returns the winds back into the west, heights rising across the Mediterranean. That's becoming milder, but it's still unsettled. Week 3 is the 28th of January to the 3rd of February. Low pressure just out to our west. Winds again in from the west-southwesterly direction. High pressure again through southern Europe. That is going to be milder and wetter. And then week 4 is going to be the 4th to the 10th of February. Heights rising across Europe. This will turn us drier as low pressure is pushed away into the middle of the Atlantic. Could be very mild with that. Maybe even a taste of spring. Might even be a taste of spring with that. Because you would draw up the air from a very long way south, actually. So despite the fact there is still northern blocking, it doesn't go away, but the blocking is there. Despite that, that could actually be a little taste of spring in week 4, from the 4th to the 10th of February. But it's a long way off. It's a very, very long way off that. But yeah, probably enough to get the temperature into the mid-teens, I would have thought, with the high pressure somewhere over the Alps and the Med. If you enjoyed this video, I'm not sure many of you will have done, but if you've enjoyed this video, please can you click like. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel. Don't forget to tell your friends about Gals Weather Vids, and drop a comment and let us know what you think. And I really can't wait to see the comments on this video. Please be kind to me. Right, okay, so that's it then. So yeah, we've got to put on around 225 subscribers to get to 10k. So tell everybody to sub, and I would like to be able to get 10k this weekend, but will we be able to do it? Now that there's a reverse ferreting on the Greenland block, I think the subs will probably start to slow down a little bit, so I don't know if we'll get to 10k at the weekend or not, but as soon as we do get to 10k, we will do a live stream, and we'll give away that £50 Amazon voucher, and it'd be nice if we could do it on Sunday, wouldn't it? Right, so that's it then. A bit disappointing if you was hoping for that big Greenland block to set up. Bear in mind, we do get these swings and roundabouts when we're trying to set up a properly cold pattern. So it's possible that, like, tonight's tomorrow runs or tomorrow's might start to bring it all back again. Possible they could do. These things do happen, and so we'll be keeping a very close eye on developments, and we'll keep you up to date, of course. We're going to have on Summer's Watch for you tonight, and if there's anything, you know, particularly evident going on within the operational runs, I'll show you those as well. So on Summer Watch, we'll be with you tonight. We'll go through all members of the GFS ensembles and see whether any of them now are suggesting, like, that big Greenland block is going to set up or not. For this video, though, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.